The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land. And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries and branch lines that make up the world-renowned North-Western Railway. These are the stories of Sodor. It was a time of uncertainty on Sodor. The specifics surrounding the Fat Controller's meeting with Mr. Star and Mr. Zorro became public knowledge, and the public were not happy about it. The possible removal of an entire rail company threatened countless jobs, with businesses and communities fearing a severe disruption in services. Many committees were formed to address these issues, with the Fat Controller meeting these various deputations to hear their concerns and opinions. While the island's politics played out, we engines were suffering through our own anxieties. Neither side was thrilled by the prospect of being booted off the island, but work still needed to go on, and work we did. It was near the end of a particularly busy day, but there was still one more job to do. A shipment of petrol needed to be delivered to Barrow, and since Thomas was the first one back to the sheds, he got it. Thomas was not happy, not just because it was late, but because that fuel was meant for the scrapyard's machinery, and he knew the middies would be there.
Oi, Lily! Look what's limping along the tracks!
I see, Adam. The nor'easter's so-called number one. Cutting it a bit close, aren't we, Thomas? The machines have been running on fumes for nearly an hour. Hey, I can only do the jobs when they tell me about them.
I guess you've never heard of initiative then. Hardly surprising. It's a quality known only by really useful engines.
Then how can you possibly know about it? Oh, aren't we irritable this evening? You middies have that effect on people.
You know what I think, Lily? I think Mr. Goody Blue Wheels here is suffering from a severe lack of determination.
I think you might be right, Adam. We'd be happy to instruct you on its principles. Tell you what, if I ever need instructions on how to throw tar wagons or smash up bridges, I'll be sure to give you two a bell. Until then, laters. Prat. Oh, hi Thomas. Bust my buffers! Percy, you scared the daylights out of me. I did? Sorry, I thought you knew I was here. I didn't know I'd be here, let alone you. Are you all right, Thomas? You sound a bit put off. Sorry. Mr. Star stuck me with the last job of the day. As if that wasn't enough, I got into it with Adam and Lily. I'd also be in a bad mood if I had to suffer those two at once. Well, with any luck, we might not have to put up with the middies for much longer. Do you know something? Well, only what Terence told me. I'd take whatever that tractor says with a grain of salt. I didn't say I believed him, but I was curious. What'd he say? That the Fat Controller still hasn't made a decision. That's informative. I know. Tell you what, it'll be a sad point in my life if we're the ones who get booted. Same here. But no sense in worrying about it today. Come on, let's go home. It's been a long one. I'm right behind you. Night, fellas. Night, Whiff.
Right, here we are.
You don't have to do this, Wendell.
Yes, I do. But by the good Lord, I wish I didn't. Right, got it. Let's get out of here.
Well, it looks like we've got another bright and beautiful day ahead of us. Hang about. What's wrong with? Wasn't there a line of tankers there last night? I don't know. I didn't see. I'm sure there was. Fuel for the machines. Thomas was supposed to bring it.
Morning, Whiff.
Adam, did you see Thomas last night?
Unfortunately, yes. He was dropping off a line of fuel tankers.
So, he did have them. Do you know what he did with them?
He brought them back out here. After that, I assume he shunted them. Why?
Because I can't find them anywhere. They're missing.
An entire train missing? How very interesting. Hello, Thomas. How's your day been?
What do you want?
I take it you haven't heard then. Those tankers you dropped off last night have gone walkies.
What do you mean, walkies?
They're gone.
Gone? But what have you done with them?
Why do you assume I've done anything with them?
Because you're you.
Oh, nice. I give you a heads up, and this is how you reward my charity.
Charity? Pah! You just want to rile me up.
Last time I do you a favour.
You mean there was a first time? What's going on here?
I was trying to tell your number one, sir, that his train has gone missing.
And I was telling him to pull the other coupling. Would that you could, Thomas. Your tankers have gone missing. Really, sir?
Told you.
You can boast about it later, Adam. Now kindly move along so I can have a word with my number one.
Of course, sir. Have a nice day, Thomas.
You did deliver those tankers, didn't you, Thomas? Of course I did, sir. Took them straight to the scrapyard as instructed. Well, I just got a complaint from the scrapyard. They said they never received their order. That can't be. I logged the delivery with the yardmaster. Did anybody else see you drop off the tankers? Whiff, for instance? He wasn't there at the time. But Adam and Lily were. And Percy, too. Adam and Lily are hardly reliable given their records, and Percy's credibility was compromised after that fiasco with the Fat Controller's trousers. Honestly, sir, I did drop it off. You've got to believe me. Thomas, I have to take the client's word. Are you saying you don't believe me, sir? I'm saying I can't afford to not believe them. I will look into it, but until I find out what happened, you'll be doing trackside maintenance with Terence. Oh, no, sir, please. Anything but Thomas. Go. Hey, Terence. Hi, Percy. Hello, Thomas. How you doing, Thomas? Heard you've lost a train. Figures you'd be the first to find out. It's no secret. Talk of the island. Thanks to you, I'll bet it is. Aside from track work, rumours are his speciality. I was only trying to help. The more people hear about it, the sooner you'll be in the clear. I am in the clear. Get that clear. Naughty, naughty. Temper, temper. Lose his funnel if it weren't screwed on. Oh, one of these days. I'll leave him, Thomas. Although I don't think you'll be able to. What do you mean by that? We need ballast, Thomas. Meaning you'll need to trip on over to the Scarlowy Railway. And it just so happens the middies are also topping up on the stuff. Oh, great. 3 encounters with the middies in one day. Just what I've always wanted. Ow! Look what the wind blew in, Dougie. I'm actually very intrigued, Diesel. Tell us, Thomas, how exactly does an engine go about losing an entire train? Don't you start.
Mr. Star's put you on track maintenance, eh? Tough break, mate. It's temporary. Keep telling yourself that. And what big job are you carrying out as part of that detail? Straightening sleepers? No. I'm picking up ballast from Crovan's Gate. Ballast, eh? I hear you can make a fortune selling truckloads of it on the side. Are you saying I'm a crook? I don't recall you mentioning names, Diesel. No, I didn't, Dougie. Sounds like a guilty conscience to me. You'd know all about that, wouldn't you, Douglas? Smashed up any more brake vans recently? Oi! That's crossing a line. I'll have a go at anyone who calls me a crook. You know something about crooks, Thomas? They can't take a joke. This is no blooming joke!
I was worried about Thomas, and so was Mr. Starr after he told me about our number one's predicament. It just wasn't like him to be so unreliable. But neither I or our director could think of an explanation behind the missing train. It never crossed our minds that it might have been stolen. Maybe it would have remained that way had the thief not returned, this time striking Sodor itself. He slipped onto the island just after midnight. By this time, all the stations were closed and all the signalmen had gone home. The main line had also shut down. Such inactivity and lack of observation allowed the thief to skip between a number of yards, pilfering a handful of trucks before making a quick getaway. He might have gone entirely unseen had Whiff not been leaving Kildane's scrapyard at that very moment.
Hey, who's that? What's she doing with all those trucks? Maybe it's a late-night goods train. It can't be. That flatbed is meant for Peter first thing tomorrow. You think that engine's stealing it? I don't know, but I think it might be a good idea to see where he's taking it.
It was a good idea, but a hard one to follow. The thief had a sizable head start on Whiff. Coupled with his desire to get off the island as fast as possible, Barrow's station pilot had a hard time keeping him in his sight as he pursued him beyond Sodor. The next morning, when engines showed up at the victimized yards to find their trucks missing, it became apparent that something was afoot. In response, Mr. Starr and Mr. Zorro decided they needed to work together to solve this. I can't say the rest of us agreed.
I say, what sort of nonsense is this? Minis and nor'easters together in one place? Whatever next?
If we're looking for suspects, I'm pointing the finger at Thomas. His trucks were the first to go missing. Too right. I last saw them in his company. Cut that out.
Yeah, watch it.
Quiet. This bickering isn't helping anyone. Now, Mr. Zorro and I have had a meeting. Missing trucks is serious. We need to get to the bottom of this, and the best way to do that is by working together. The world's gone mad. Shut your gob, Toby. You want to take me on, Donald? I said quiet. Mr. Zorro, I'll leave it to you to lay out our course of action. I know a scheme or two that'll catch this thief.
Ha ha! I expect he knows far more than two.
Aye, send a crook to catch a crook. Belt up, old square wheels. I won't tell you all to shut it again. Go on, Nigel. Certain trucks are being rigged with flares that'll go off if they're even touched, never mind stolen. So, this is the plan. These trucks will be attached to different trains at various yards around the island. Each truck will be observed by a pair of engines, and Mr. Starr and I have agreed that in order to ensure fair play, each team will consist of one engine from each company. The pairs will be as follows: Gordon and Reginald, Henry and Peter, Thomas and... Bother! Lost him! Where could he have gone?
What about down that way?
The old Springfield branch? It's been closed for years. And it would be the first place I'd dash to if I were on the run.
Me too. We better check it out.
You know, if we're both right, and that's where he's hiding, does that make us criminals for being able to think like one?
You've done very well, Wendell, but we figure you still owe us.
You're going back on your word?
One more train and we're square.
It's getting too risky. If I go back to Sodor, they'll pinch me for sure.
If you don't go back to Sodor, your friend will find himself at the bottom of the bay.
Don't do it, Wendell.
I've got to. Tonight will be the last. You promise? One more train.
Fine. Oh, Wendell.
Don't worry about me, William. Are you alright?
I'm fine. But you need to stop this.
One more train and we're done. We'll be back on the Great Western before you know it.
Oh my. This is a sad situation. I've got to get back and tell the others.
I don't understand why you two are so steamed up.
For one, it's because we're steam engines. For another, it's because tonight is going to be a wasted effort.
How do you figure?
Because we're working with the nor'easters, and I'm not so sure they're guiltless.
Well, I am. Their trains have gone missing just like ours. Like it or not, we need them to find out what's happening.
I suppose you have a point, Peter. Although, I wish I weren't being partnered with the first victim of these thefts. I'm sure I'll get an earful of righteous indignation from Thomas when I meet up with him.
Considering who I'm paired with, Lily, you've got it easy.
This is so exciting!
How do you figure?
It'd be great if we caught the thief, don't you think?
Oh yes, thrilling. Absolutely thrilling.
So, which train's got the flare on it?
The one on track 3. I must say, we do occupy quite the tactical position here.
What's that mean? Tactical.
It means thinking strategically.
What's that mean? What you said.
Oh, Lord give me strength.
Oh, there you are. About time. I was starting to think you'd forgotten I wasn't the thief.
Thomas, I know you're not the thief. We all know you're not the thief. Can you please brush that chip off your boiler? It'll make the night that much more pleasant for all of us.
All right. I'm sorry. Look, it wasn't really your group I was annoyed with anyway.
What do you mean?
It was Mr. Starr. When this first happened, he didn't believe that I had nothing to do with it.
Really? That's rough. In your place, I'd be irritated too. But he does believe you now, doesn't he?
I don't know. But I tell you what, I want to have a word with him when this is all over.
You're braver than I am, Thomas. I'd never have the nerve to tell off Mr. Zorro.
Edward once said he didn't know if I was brave or just foolish. I asked him, is there a difference?
What did he... Wait a moment.
What's wrong? Is it the thief?
Only if Whiff has a dark side.
Oh, bless my boiler! That was lucky I found you here.
Whiff! What are you doing? Get out of here! We're in the middle of an operation to catch the thief. That's why I'm here. I found him. You did?
How? Who cares how? Oh, when I get a hold of him, I'm going to tear him a new funnel.
Hold your horses, Thomas. It's a bit more complicated than that. How do you mean? It's a long story, and we don't have time to tell anyone else. Follow me, and I'll explain along the way.
Oh no.
It's alright, Wendell. Don't panic.
Don't panic. I know you lot are from Sodor.
And take note of the fact we're not pounding your boiler into the ground.
Why aren't you?
Because I saw you with those lorries. I know why you're doing this.
You saw William?
Yes. Whiff told us everything.
We've got to save him. He's a friend of mine. They're holding him for ransom, forcing me to steal trucks so they can sell their goods on the black market.
Well, we'll put a stop to that tonight.
You mean you're going to help me?
Can't say any of us would do different in your place. You got a plan, Thomas? Yeah, I do. You run back to the nearest station and call Joey. The rest of us will head on down the branch and keep an eye on those lorries. If they try to run, we'll stop them.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Duck was right. You Sudrians really are a good lot.
You see anything, Lily? No. There's too much overgrowth for me to get a good look. Should we move in closer? No. We can't risk letting them see us. Alright, Wendell. We won't. We'll stay put and keep watch.
Thomas, I'm really, really sorry about all this.
Don't worry. Like I said, I'd probably do the same in your place. I know I would. Hold up. What's wrong? I see two of the lorries. They're leaving.
Bother!
Okay, now we move.
Thomas?
Trust me, Wendell. Lily, you go on in and rescue William. We'll get the others. Right, ya?
Steamies!
Come on, Fred. Let's hightail it out of here. Wait for me! Gotcha! Ouch! I think my gasket's gone. Better they nab you than me. Arnold, you mongrel! Their leader's making a break for it. You get him. I'll get this one. Gladly. Ha! You ain't going nowhere.
Ha! Now that's what I call the Great Western Way. Just as I predicted, 6 hours of observation and nothing. This really was a wasted effort.
Yeah, it's turning out to be a bit of a downer. But then again, hold on.
What?
I think I heard something.
Well, you were the only one.
It came from the yard. Maybe it's the thief. I'm gonna go look.
Eric, wait! Ah, cinders and ashes.
Oi, thief! I beg your pardon, Eric. Where do you get off calling me a common criminal? Gordon? You're the thief? Of course I'm not the thief, you imbecile.
Then what are you doing here?
The one thing I'm not doing is pilfering trucks. I'm here to inform you, gentlemen, that the thief has been apprehended. Really? Who nabbed him? Thomas, Lily, and Whiff of all engines.
Where? Vickerstown?
No, beyond Sodor apparently. I expect we'll get the full details from Thomas when he returns, and I suspect we'll be hearing about it from him for a good long time thereafter.
Unlike if you made the arrest, eh, Gordon?
Of course, my natural modesty would have ensured a minimum amount of fuss.
If you say so.
Tops! Well, since we don't need the flare anymore, I'll push it out the way.
Wait, Eric! It's still live!
Wow, look at that!
Nicely done, you twit!
Top form as always, Eric. Sorry. Well, At least we know the flares were working, eh? I have to put up with this all the time.
I almost feel sorry for you nor'easters now.
Throughout most of the night and the following morning, Joey led the operation to clean up the criminality that had taken root in the small town of Springfield. The stolen trucks were recovered, those 3 horrid lorries were loaded onto flatbeds, and the men behind the entire enterprise were arrested. In the yard next to the abandoned Kingsley Station, which sat at the mouth of the shut-down Springfield branch, a line that had been closed by order of the Railway Board, for those of you wondering, our wayward heroes waited until Joey said they could leave.
Honestly, I can't thank you lot enough for rescuing William.
Don't mention it, Wendell. Happy to help. But if you ever need our help again, just make sure you ask beforehand, please.
Ha ha! I will.
Everything all right, Joey? Yes, everything along the branch is sorted. Not a bad effort for civilians, I must say. Huh, thanks for the praise, Inspector. Are we good to go? All but Wendell, you're coming with me. Wait, what? Why? Because he stole. He broke the law. It wasn't his fault. His friend was being threatened. That makes his actions understandable, but not acceptable. He should have come to the police. We would have provided assistance, and then you lot wouldn't have had to risk your own bunkers. We pulled through, Inspector, but not without some damage, am I right? That's not fair.
It's all right, Thomas. The inspector is correct. It was wrong of me to steal, whatever the reason. But I'm that reason, Wendell. You shouldn't have to pay for it. Don't worry about me, William. You're safe. That's all that matters. Right, Inspector. I'm ready.
Thank you for being so cooperative, Wendell. Come along.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again.
Cool. A load of rubbish, that is. The justice system can be so heartless sometimes. True enough. But it was also true what Joey said. Yeah, that's what makes it worse. He had a point. How much time do you think he'll get? The answer was 15 days. Before a magistrate at the transport court, Wendell pleaded his case and was given a light sentence. After serving his time, he returned to the Great Western and was practically given a hero's welcome. Likewise of Thomas, Lily, and Whiff when they arrived back on Sodor. We were all very proud of the 3 tank engines, as were our directors, who told us how impressed the Fat Controller was by our entire handling of the situation. But as this story has gone on far longer than I expected, the specifics of that meeting with the Stout Director will have to wait until next time.